All right, so today we're setting up our no freeze hose. It has an extra heat trace pigtail on it, which is very important because we also have to insulate our water spigot to make sure that it doesn't freeze because it's going down to 25 degrees tonight. Something that we like to do is we have these quick connect ends for our hoses. So we installed one on here, we installed one on the end of our pressure regulator gauge, and it makes it super easy. All you have to do is pull the sleeve back and it connects. Small there?
Nope. Pull the sleeve back, honey.
All right, there we go. Now it's on there. So this is heat trace pigtail. You can add it extra on your no freeze hoses, and I highly suggest it because what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap it around our valve regulator thingy, and we're also going to wrap it around the spigot. We're at a campground that doesn't turn off the water, and we love that, but you have to protect this spigot or else it will burst and we'll have to pay money for that. So you wrap it up like this. I'm gonna grab the foam insulation piece and we're gonna put that around it, and then we're going to tape it up. The benefit of this is that it contains the heat, and I also got too small the size for this, but that's fine. We'll just double it up, tape it up, and it'll be good to go. Gotta grab
Here,
it.
honey, homie. You gotta put it there.
All right, so this is just some tape. I think it says that it's like good during really cold weather too, so you want to make sure you get something that'll stay sticky even when it freezes. And we are going to do 2 layers of this because, like I said, I got the wrong size, so it doesn't have to be perfect when you're wrapping it up the first time.
Yeah, I do.
These hoses are insane though. I want to tell you, they're expensive but worth it. You won't need to buy another one. Like, I've seen videos, I did a ton of research before we got this one because they are kind of pricey. But people have said they've used them for 3-4 years and they're still perfect. They don't ever freeze. Into the -30s, I've seen people talk about using them. So that's why we wanted the no freeze hoses, because we want to just do it right the first time and not have to worry about any of our pipes freezing. Got stuck together.
My favorite. Here, just rip me a piece, like a long piece, like that.
This other end also has the heat trace pigtail. It doesn't have as long because I figure that it's going inside the RV and should be able to keep the heat a little bit better than the spigot that's outside though. So I'm just doing the same thing in here. I have a quick connect under my water filter. And we are also going to wrap this up and insulate the inside as well to make sure that it doesn't freeze. The end of the heat trace, it'll just run alongside the filter in here, wrap it up. That should be good too. This part is the biggest trouble that you could have, in my opinion, is the outside water source. So that's why we want to make sure that it's wrapped really well, it's insulated really well. The heat trace pigtail of this will keep it warm, and we are going to put a bucket on top just to kind of keep the heat inside as well.
Yeah, I was gonna cut it actually.
It'll be wrapped perfectly.
Oh, you want to wrap it? Okay, we can do that.
I think that's perfect.
Sure.
It'll wrap all the way down to here, right?
Sure can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
We could keep it going.
Right. It'll wrap around the whole thing. We actually underestimated how much tape we had. So we need to get more tape to finish wrapping that, but other than that, it's ready to go. These are pretty much plug and play other than the outside water spigot, which is where the extra heat trace pigtail comes in handy. That's why we got ours. I think we got it 3 feet, which is the longest you can get, and I highly recommend that because as you can see, it wrapped up the entire water spigot, so they're perfect. Good to go. We won't have any freezes to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, essentially it's, you have the water on, of course, and then right over.
Yep, and the heat
Done.
does keep the bucket in. I know it sounds crazy, but it works.
Heat rises, guys, you know, so.
Yep.
All right,
So there it is. That's our no freeze hoses installation. All right, so while you're on this no freeze video, I also wanted to mention that they have no freeze sewer hoses. This is what it looks like. This thing is so durable. Like, just you can feel the quality of it. You can see the insulation wrapped around it. This thing is so sturdy. I'm not at all concerned about breaking this. And I think even when it's cold, we're going to use it because it's not going to get crushed. It's not going to accidentally break. The only thing that I'm like a tiny bit nervous about is for it to get stolen because it's so good. It has a heat trace plug on the other side of that too. So if we needed to or wanted to, we can wrap that up. I personally don't think that that's going to be an issue that we're going to have because, you know, water's not coming out of it constantly, only when we pull the drain to dump. So we also have that plugged in. We have a GFI splitter because technically you're not supposed to use an extension cord with these, but we only have one plug outside, so it's like a 20 volt, I don't know, something like that, GFI, so it has its own like fuse basically. But yeah, this is really good. This has helped us dump in freezing temperatures. We're not worried about the hose freezing. One of our neighbors actually came up to us and was like, that's amazing, I need it, because last year they were dumping their stuff. There was a little bit of leftover where it, you know, dips down, and their sewer hose exploded. But like, it wasn't everywhere because it was frozen, but when, you know, stuff freezes, it expands. So it just broke their sewer hose. They couldn't dump. It was a very big mess to clean up. Just sounds gross. So highly recommend, if you're RVing in the winter, to have one of these no freeze sewer hoses because it's a lifesaver. I don't want to use the shower rooms. I don't want to have to go and no, this is so much better. So again, they are pricey, but they're totally worth it, especially if you're living in the RV in the winter, and might even use it when it's hot out too.